just start. It's been a while since I've installed this, and so I'll just go through the experience. So I'm on Ultimaker Cura's page. Agree to their cookies, because why not? Um, yep, so I'm installing this on Windows. So I'm going to select Windows. And, oh, I forgot that I was going to have to wait for this. Yeah, so what am I going to cover in this video? We should be able to set up Cura for our Ender 3 printer, and then we're going to pull in this this benchmark file, and we're going to slice it, and maybe I'll even update job in this video, I'm not sure. But we're going to pull this down, slice it, and then you should be ready to give it a print and try and see how it works. Yeah, so Ultimaker Cura, it's made by Ultimaker for Ultimaker printers, but it's made open source and able to work with a bunch of other printers. Unfortunately, the outlook for Ultimaker Cura is a little questionable right now, given that they got purchased by Stratasys, which is normally a closed source company. Same thing with Thingiverse. MakerBot got purchased by Stratasys or 3D Systems. I can't remember. It's one of them, and so they're people don't actually consider Thingiverse to be open source. Actually, when you download these things, there's things in the contract that say that. It's weird that they could be potentially a property of 3D Systems or whoever the parent company is now. Anyways, so I'm started up my installer, and I'm gonna let it do its thing. Yep, I'm just gonna agree. The default location's fine. Default's fine. So nothing super special that has to happen yet. Yeah, I realize this is super informative videos, so feel free to fast forward while I kind of fill the dead air. Yeah, so anyways, we're pulling this thing down, and they call it Benchy. It's a benchmark print, and so what that is it's a print that has some complex features in it, like this overhang here, and there's overhangs here, and little holes and things like that we want to be able to print. And so normally what it means is if you can print this out flawlessly, your printer is pretty much ready to rock and roll and do whatever you might need of it. So this is a good kind of initial print. So I'm just going to let it run. Ultimaker Cura, we're on version 5, it looks like. And what I've found is most of the versions, at least from the user experience, is not that different. So if you're for some reason stuck on an older version, it should be fine. All right, just wheels are spinning here while we wait for this to pull itself up. These container ships are kind of fun. So hopefully you're already seeing like, oh, I want to print that, and I want to print that, and I want to print that. And yeah, if you go on, this is on Thingiverse, and so if you go on Thingiverse and see some of the things that people have uploaded, there's just so much amazing stuff. To be honest, not. There we go. All right. Yeah, we'll allow access, whatever. And here we are. Here's our Cura. So I'm gonna go ahead and click Get Started. Yeah, we're gonna agree. Ultimaker, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna skip the account. All right. So I don't want to add a network printer. We're just gonna be in non-network mode. And I'm gonna scroll down for Creality. Creality 3D. And we've just got the Ender 3, just the Creality Ender 3. Click Next. And there shouldn't be any reason to change this. This is saying like the dimension of the print bed, if we have a heated bed, kind of what happens when this thing starts up, and I'm just going to keep it at the default. Yep, so this is just letting us know there's some new stuff here. Great, I'm just going to skip it, finish that, and we should be ready to rock and roll about right now. So Here's what I'm going to do. Um, we'll probably take a deeper look in what some of these settings mean, but right now at this point we just want to get our basic print. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on this benchy here and thing files, and this is 3dbenchy.stl. I'm actually a little surprised it's 10 megabytes, but whatever. And then I'm going to load in, so I'm going to go to my downloads, and there's Benchy right there. So I pulled in Benchy, and boop, there it is, ready to rock and roll. Now, we can slice it, and so what this is doing is figuring out how the 3D printer can move and extrude to produce this. It says it's going to take 1 hour and 47 minutes, 11 grams of filament, or 3.72 meters long worth of filament. And you can see by default it's going to be printing with PLA with our 0.4 millimeter nozzle, which is the default. And just like I said, we'll get into these settings later. There's different profiles for how thickly we extrude. So this is 0.2 millimeter layer height. We could bring this up to like 0.28, in which case it should print quicker, but it will be kind of a little bit more blocky. And this infill is how dense the interior space is. If you've never watched something 3D print, I highly encourage watching this. In fact, it will probably be hard for you to not watch it print from the start to end, just because if you're in any way like me, your first 3D print is a special moment, and you will probably watch the first several. That said, so we can keep this at the default, and I have save to disk here. So I could just save this G-code file, but actually what we need to do is you need to use the flash drive with the SD card, the micro SD card that came with your printer. You need to insert that, and then an option will come up to it, save this to the removable drive. Unfortunately, I don't have that with me right now. I'll be able to just use this flash drive though. Yeah, let's just give this guy a try. Okay, so I put a flash drive in here, and yeah, cool. So now I've got this option to save to removable drive, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm just, so you can see it was saved as CE3, Creality Ender 3 is its initials, and 3dbenchy.g code, and you eject it, so you can safely remove it, pull things out, and now you can take that SD card and put it into your printer. And now you're about ready to rock and roll. And just one quick little bonus thing, if you've stuck with me this long, just a cool thing that I always like to look at is this preview. If you go to preview, what this will do is this is actually going to show us what the slicer came up with, right? So this is actually showing kind of what the 3D printer is going to do and how it's going to go about constructing this. So this is a neat feature. I've always kind of liked to see the logic that the slicing algorithms use. But anyway, yeah. And so now all that's left is to put the SD card in your printer and get it to start printing.